What's going on, everybody? How is everyone doing today? Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. Today, on my brief little Twitch pregame, I'm gonna talk about something it's been really on my mind for a while. It's really been bothering me. It's something that I admittedly feel as though I haven't covered enough, and it's annoying. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Puerto Rico. I've briefly mentioned it in the past. I think that you guys have probably seen videos that I've done on it before. The fact that 50% or the majority of Americans don't know that Puerto Rican citizens are U.S. citizens is ridiculous, but it's indicative of our treatment overall of Puerto Rico in the aftermath of what happened in Hurricane Maria. I'm going to turn off the music really quick, sorry. But yeah, let's get started. Okay, so President Donald Trump made some statements earlier today in regards to how the U.S. how the government has handled Hurricane Maria and the aftermath. I'm not going to get too far into disaster capitalism. I'm not going to get too far into how Puerto Rico is still essentially, virtually a colony, a U.S. colony. That's not my area of expertise at all, unfortunately. But I do want to talk about, there is obviously a colonial relationship with the United States that's incredibly important since it was acquired as in the aftermath of the Spanish-American War of 1898. But since then, in more recent years, Puerto Rico has faced a debt crisis, which obviously, this is what happened in Puerto Rico in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria is essentially just the perfect disaster. You have an already pre-existing debt crisis. You have fiscal austerity. You have a federal body that definitely mistreats this island. And then on top of that, then the logistical limitations of obviously being an island and being far away from the U.S. mainland proved multiple different problems on top of everything else. And the latest death toll that we found out wasn't 60, like it was originally reported in the early days of the hurricane, but actually more than 2,900 is the actual death toll. I believe the specific number is 2,000. I've seen a couple different numbers. One of them was 2,971, and another one was 2,976. Now, the reason why this number is important, of course, is because this puts the immediate death toll in the aftermath of this disaster at more than 1,000 higher than Katrina, which is important because Donald Trump compared it to Katrina, and Katrina is one that we talk about a lot as far as a catastrophic failure in our relief efforts, given that the area that the territories around the territories devastated by Katrina were low income and underserved and underprivileged communities for the most part. Therefore, they were wide open for to be impacted severely by natural disaster, more than a wealthier neighborhood would be, because a wealthier neighborhood also has tools and and better infrastructure to deal with certain catastrophes, right? So you have this perfect disaster, but then on top of that, you have an administration that just absolutely does not care, just simply does not care. And not only does this administration not care, they also aren't even performatively trying to behave as though they care. And that's one of the worst issues. I mean, obviously, um, you want to relieve the people of Puerto Rico of as much pain as possible, right? But on top of that, instead of sympathizing with them, instead of saying like, look, we're doing our best, to turn around and say, no, everything is good, even on a day when new numbers were released that show that the death toll is nearly identical to 9/11, is madness. These people are American citizens. These people aren't second class citizens. They're American citizens. There's no such thing as a second class citizen, regardless. But like these are, it's no different than some sort of environmental catastrophe occurring in Texas or Hawaii or Alaska or freaking New York. Okay, but the way we've treated Puerto Rico is different, and that has led to severe, devastating, long-term outcomes. I mean, it's a humanitarian crisis at this point. I don't understand how we haven't made the significant efforts to reduce harm and to relieve the people of Puerto Rico of the devastating outcome of this disaster as quickly as possible. It is unimaginable. I literally I have no words for it. I can't understand how even at this point there are people who are making the argument that hey, it's different. It's an island. It's different. They were under severe debt. Like this kind of victim blaming would never slide if this was a group of people that were overwhelmingly white or overwhelmingly regarded as white. If this was happening on the mainland, it would never go by. Like no one would ever allow an administration to show this much contempt towards a group of people that we have exploited for decades. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm not going to get too far into like the Financial Oversight and Management Board and this board that was created by the Congress in 2016 under the Barack Obama administration, actually, to oversee the reduction of more than $70 billion worth of debt in Puerto Rico. And it's literally just 7 people. The people of Puerto Rico regard this as just a group of dictators, essentially, that were appointed that have no personal impact or they just have no dog in the fight, essentially. 7 presidential appointments that with only one living in Puerto Rico, and they have authority over the Puerto Rican State House. Essentially, they push these intense austerity measures that obviously created a loss of capital, a flight of capital in the aftermath of the debt crisis. So it just created this environment ripe for a perfect catastrophe, which is exactly what happened. But none of this matters. And the reason why none of this matters is simple, right? It's all about allocation of resources. It's all about a distribution of resources, a distribution of funds. It's how you choose to spend capital. And the reason why I mention this is because Donald Trump is currently engaging in a what a lot of economists will say frivolous and maybe even dangerous trade war with China. And as a consequence of that, farmers are suffering. But farmers are in mainland U.S. Farmers are good, wholesome white Americans. So of course, in order to offset the negative consequences of Donald Trump's trade war with China, we have immediately allocated billions of dollars to farmers. That is a play to secure the farmer vote regardless. Of course, some will say that no, these farmers are producing, they have an output. It's not the same as Puerto Rico. That's ridiculous. Of course, Puerto Rico also has an output. The reality is there's no justification when almost 3,000 people die in the hands of a natural disaster. There's no justification for it. We should be doing everything we fucking can. We should be pooling all of our resources and doing everything we absolutely can to help Puerto Rico and yet we simply do not care. Anyway, so hold on one second. I'm gonna pull up some more data. I'm gonna actually show you guys a video really quickly. Okay, so yeah, so Trump defended the government response earlier today in Puerto Rico, the day after the death toll, the official death toll from Hurricane Maria was announced to be at 2,975 people. He said, "I think we did a fantastic job in Puerto Rico. I think most people in Puerto Rico really appreciate what we've done." Here, let's watch this video.
I think we did a fantastic job in Puerto Rico. We're still helping Puerto Rico. The governor is an excellent guy, and he is very happy with the job we've done. We have put billions and billions of dollars into Puerto Rico, and it was a very tough one. Don't forget, their electric plant was dead before the hurricane. If you look back on your records, you'll see.
So that's false. That's a lie. Donald Trump Donald Trump said that part of the blame was this electric plant that was already broken down before the hurricane hit. This is completely false, and it's so easily provable too. So it's absolutely ridiculous that it's almost like it's worse that he somehow doesn't care enough to actually come up with a better lie. And the reason why I mention this is because it's so indicative of the lack of care that this administration is demonstrated in regards to Puerto Rico and our treatment of Puerto Rico in general. It's just crazy. Anyway, let's move past that.
See that plant was dead, it was shut, it was bankrupt, it was out of business. They owed tremendous amounts of money. They had it closed up, and then when the hurricane came, people said, "What are we going to do about electricity?" That wasn't really the hurricane; that was gone before the hurricane. But we've put a lot of money and a lot of effort into Puerto Rico, and I think most of the people in Puerto Rico really appreciate.
Like, here's what's ridiculous about the way Trump is describing this natural disaster. Like, you have to do this. This is your job. Like, what good are you as the federal government, as the head of the federal government, if you're not going to aid people in their time of crisis, in their time of need? This is literally why we pay taxes. This is why we have FEMA. Like, it makes no sense. I just don't understand it. I don't know. I honestly, I'm disbelief. I'm in disbelief all the time. Like, imagine this in war terms, right? This is something that a lot of you neoliberals especially will understand it better in war terms, right? And let's say World War II is happening, and obviously we have our soldiers there. We're pooling all of our funds in that instance as a nation to help defend the world or whatever, right? This is a crisis. I mean, this is a crisis where we should all be doing our very best to ensure that this situation is resolved. I don't understand it. Anyway, like, look at the way he's like, yeah, we did everything. Everybody likes it. He's just fucking lying on top of everything else. It's just so preposterous. Anyway, let's keep going.
What we've done, Texas healed quickly, and the people were incredible. Florida healed quickly, and everybody worked very hard. Puerto Rico was actually more difficult.
Yeah, no shit. It's a fucking island. And also, you didn't allocate as many resources as necessary. That's the problem. That is literally what we're angry about. That's why everyone is upset.
Because of the fact it's an island, it's much harder to get things onto the island. With Texas, you're land-based. With Florida, you're land-based. Puerto Rico is a very difficult situation. I only hope they don't get hit again, because they were hit by two right in a row. And really the likes of...
And now Trump, of course, moves past it. Like, he moves on to things that he does know. He moves over to things that he does understand. He just starts stating things in order to sound smart, I guess. This is something that he does all the time. He's like, Puerto Rico is an island, and I just hope that it doesn't happen again. Like, what the fuck do you mean? I don't understand this. I just, okay. And look, this is important too, because this is originally what Trump had said last year when he visited the island, right? And he implied that Hurricane Maria was not a real catastrophe like Katrina. And the new estimates revealed that over 1,000 more people died in Puerto Rico than in Katrina. Um, and then there's the additional consequences. Um, Thousands and thousands of lives, just complete destroyed infrastructure. If you go to New Orleans right now, I mean, there's still parts of New Orleans that are covered in dilapidated buildings, just like destroyed areas where people are still living in poverty. They're still suffering the consequences of Katrina. And again, it's very shocking because at that point it was mainland. So I wonder why we weren't able to assist with Katrina in a similar fashion either. It couldn't have had anything to do with the fact that these are lower people. There weren't that many wealthy people there. We need to protect our capital. These aren't good, wholesome, real Americans there. They're not real Americans in Puerto Rico, and they weren't real Americans in New Orleans. So it doesn't matter in Louisiana. It doesn't matter that we're not going to allocate the same amount of resources, same amount of effort, same amount of energy. If they die, they die. That is literally the discontent. That's that's the underlying sentiment behind these actions, and I need you guys to understand that.
Mulvaney is here, right there, and Mick is in charge of a thing called budget. Now, I hate to tell you, Puerto Rico, but you've thrown our budget a little out of whack because we've spent a lot of money on Puerto Rico, and that's fine.
It's so funny. We like this is like. Do you understand this? Do you see what I'm talking about here? Like this is in the aftermath. Like imagine how can I put this into human terms? It's like a trigger warning, content warning. I'm going to make an analogy about rape, but it's like if you walk up to a rape victim and you're like, "Hey, you're costing me a lot of money to for your treatment now." This is like it's kind of like that. It's just it's a tragic situation, and you're there as a part of the relief effort to show face, and you're laughing about it, and you're cracking jokes about how much money it's costing you. It's like the fuck. This would never ever in a million years fly in any other state, in any other country. It is so obvious what's going on here. I mean, the difference in treatment of Harvey versus Maria is so flagrant. I understand that Texas is mainland. I understand that Texas has better infrastructure. It's not an island. But ultimately, even when Trump visited Texas, the statements, the things that he said, the way he behaved, drastically different. Drastically different. And the consequences or the outcomes were also drastically different. And that's why, like, even though I hate doing the whole, like, oh, Trump is a doo-doo boy, Trump is a doo-doo head bullshit, it's just so obvious. It's indicative of his lack of care for the people of Puerto Rico. Anyway, guys, I'm actually going to start my Twitch stream at this point. I want to continue talking about this. There's a lot more to say on this subject, specifically from the angle of, I guess, disaster capitalism is one, racism is another important factor in this conversation. So I'm going to start the stream right now on my Twitch. This is something I talk about a lot. This is if you're new here, I do a 4-hour live stream on Twitch every day. And this is basically the little pregame that I do. We talk about the video that I cover for the day, which is not this actually. I'm probably going to do a video on this tomorrow, because I need to focus more on this. I need to write a little bit more and do a little bit more research. But yeah, so this is the part where I move over to Twitch and I start streaming on there, and I urge you to also go there. It's literally free. Facebook, as you might have noticed, is essentially nuking my views in a fairly meaningful way. I mean, there's been like 200 people watching the stream. I have 500,000 followers, and I'm assuming a lot of you, because a lot of you do reach out to me, I'm assuming a lot of you don't actually get notified when I go live, even if you ring the bell on Facebook, which you should if you haven't, to change your settings to show me first on your newsfeed if you want to keep up to date with like every video that I'm doing, because some of you don't even know that I go live basically go live almost every single day on here on Facebook, and I also create videos almost every single day from Monday to Thursday around the same time. And a lot of you have told me that you don't see my videos on your newsfeed anymore, and that you have to come here and click on here onto my page and see it. And that's not on accident. That's all I'm going to say. It happens. It comes with the territory. This is something that I completely understand. It's just when you talk about controversial things, it's not good for Facebook's bottom line, I guess. So of course, there's always an element of not censorship, but element of suppression there, and it's just a part of the job. I like because Facebook is really important for me as a community organizing tool. I use it for that purpose a lot. I obviously have the Big Tent Democratic Coalition group on here on my page. You should go check that out as well. It's a private group. It's a safe space for a variance of different ideologies on the left, from communists to socialists to democratic socialists to liberals, neoliberals, and just people that want to maybe venture further into progressive ideas and get a better understanding. It's also a place where we share dank memes, which is very important. But like I was saying, I'm going to move over to Twitch right now. My Twitch is starting at the moment, and I'm going to continue on with the Puerto Rico conversation. And like I said, I urge you to go to my Twitch, twitch.tv/hasanAbi. It's literally free. You don't have to do anything. You just go there. You follow me. If you want to subscribe, you can also do that. You get emotes and whatever. But there's a big sense of community on there, and it's really important because I literally talk about politics. If you want to get more of this, you get it on there for 4 hours. You can ask me questions, learn more about what I believe and why I believe certain things, and talk to other people, make friends on there. It's just it's a really good community. I really like it. Like I said, twitch.tv/hasanAbi. Go follow me on there. I'm going to keep this live stream going for a second while I move over there. You can see what you're missing. Not see what you're missing, but essentially so you can start seeing what the channel looks like and all of that. Once I go live on there, I'm going to turn this off because this is ruining my freaking desktop for some reason. In any case, like I said, I hate that I have to tell you guys this all the time. Like it's just like it's just trust me, okay? Just go to my Twitch. Go to my Twitch. What's going on, everybody at Twitch? Hi Twitch audience. How are you guys doing? Let's see what's going on right now. Okay. Viewership's coming in. What's going on? Anyway, this has been really complicated. For some reason, my computer is like, I'm a little late. I'm sorry, Seattle Bloke. Oh, by the way, for those of you who are just joining in on Facebook, I go live on my Twitch every day at first of all, I do a early stream like I just did at 4 p.m. And then I do a later stream around 7 p.m. Pacific, where I play video games, I look at memes, I troll Instagram. It's really fun. We get a little bit of education in there, and then we have a lot of fun. That's basically the point. That's why I have this setup. That's why I've structured it in a way so that you guys can learn while also having fun, I guess. Anyway, yeah. What's happening, Twitch? I'm so excited for today's content. Yeah, okay. What do the symbols mean when you comment? The star means that you're a subscriber, Bobby Swizz. It means that either someone gifted you a subscription, which gives you access to emotes and whatnot, or it means that you bought a subscription yourself. Good evening, Turkish Coffee. What's going on? Good to see you. Nice to see you. Anyway, also, for those of you who are just joining right now on the Twitch stream from Facebook, you're not going to be able to comment really quickly. Unfortunately, there's a 10-minute timer on there. Here, you know what? I'm going to see if I can change that right now so you guys can all get in here. And I did take a shower today, Luis Andres. What do you mean? Why are you asking me that question? But yeah, the Puerto Rico thing is just really annoying to me. I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been getting very angry about it this entire day. I actually did. I actually covered something entirely different on my Facebook, which will be up very shortly on my Facebook page. For those of you who are still on Facebook, you can watch my latest video. We're gonna go through it on my Twitch stream as well. If you want to watch that, you can see it there. I can do a longer breakdown on it, but yeah, we got. All right. Where is this? Oh Jesus, my computer is like failing right now, which is weird because it's relatively new and it's supposed to handle this sort of shit. But
you have attacked me and lied.
Acid Queen, thank you for the subscription. Anyway, so yeah, we got a Floridian gubernatorial race that was incredible. That happened last night. Andrew Gillum, the first black nominee for governor from the state of Florida. And more importantly than being the first black nominee for governor in the state of Florida, Andrew is also incredibly progressive. Bernie Sanders campaigned with him. Even though Andrew originally had actually backed Hillary Clinton like 2 years ago, but regardless. Andrew ran on a platform of universal health care. He ran on a platform of abolishing ICE. All right! On a platform of raising the minimum wage to $15, among many other things, anti-imperialism. Like, it's just awesome. He is the mayor of Tallahassee. All right! And it was just awesome because, for me, most importantly, it showed that, once again, progressive politics works. Not just in places like, not in New York districts or not in deep blue districts, but deep red districts. In places like Florida, I mean, Donald Trump won Florida. You know what I mean? This is supposedly one of those areas that the Democratic establishment constantly talks about how it's not a good place for progressive politics, and yet that was disproven because you had a moderate centrist go up against this very progressive candidate, and the very progressive candidate won. So, the other thing that's going on, however, though, is that, of course, Andrew Gillum is going to go up against someone. And that someone is Ron DeSantis. An absolute piece of shit. All right! An absolute piece of shit human being. He was handpicked by Donald Trump for this position. He is an absolute MAGA chud. We're just a shithead of the highest order, basically. And that's what that's what I covered today on the video, which will be live very soon on my Facebook once I publish it. But yeah, Ron DeSantis, and you might have heard of this, and you're probably not even going to believe me when I say this. You're going to want to see the footage. Essentially described the election, the upcoming election in November as by using the term monkey, going up against the first ever potential black governor of Florida. I mean, the dog whistle is, I don't know. All right. Take a look at that. But I want to get back into Puerto Rico. There's a bunch of stuff that I haven't addressed yet about it, and for those of you who are still on my Facebook and refusing to go there, refusing to go to my Twitch to see the rest of this conversation, then I apologize, but I have to go, and you just simply will not learn from the mistakes of your past. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope you watch my video when I publish it. And good day to you, sirs and madams. That's all I will say. Bye.